Israel's message. It's Israel's message. It's Israel's message. It's Israel's message. Come on, all the kids. It's Israel's message. It's Israel's message. Come on, all the kids. It's Israel's message.
Yes, there it goes. Israel's Message. Thank you all for joining the Israel's Message Daily Show. We appreciate your time. Be sure to click those likes and subscribe. We definitely appreciate your time. It's Israel's Message. Do you get it? The 12 tribes, the nation, the world, Israel. Thank you all for joining us. We're going to start our show off with some inspiration. Then we're going to do a quick news roundup, followed by some stock market and financial information. We're also going to give you a daily brain buzz, a daily question to get you thinking. And then we're going to tackle the subject for today. The subject for today is, if you're a single person, how should you be preparing yourself for the future, for family, for marriage, for things to come? I made a mistake by not being prepared as I should have, and I'd really like to enlighten you on this subject. Thank you all for joining the Israel's Message Daily Show. Enjoy the show.
It's Israel's message. It's Israel's message. Come on, all the kids. It's Israel's message.
All right, let's start with the inspiration. Let's go to Joshua 1:9. Have I not commanded thee? ? Be strong and of a good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed. For the Lord thy God is with thee, whithersoever thou goest. Let's start at the end of this verse. Whithersoever thou goest, wherever you go to work, to school, to meetings, to vacations, to many different events around the world, wherever you go and plant your feet, you need to be there. The Lord need to be there with you. So understand. So if you're there, you got to take the Lord with you. So is the Lord in your life? Are you standing firm on God's business and standing firm about being serious about the Lord in your soul and your faith? Are you serious about that? So whithersoever thou goest, to school, right, to work, dealing with a lot of different entities in these places, are you standing firm? Are you taking the Lord with you? Again, let's read this again. Have not I commanded thee? Have not I charged thee? The Lord hath charged thee to be strong and be of a good courage. When you're strong, you're being strong in your mind, in your patience, in your wisdom, in your faith. You're being strong in many aspects of your life. Your mentality and everything is strong. Be of good courage. Be courageous. Be boldful. Always bounce back. Be ready to go. All right. Always be courageous. Be not afraid. Don't be afraid to go where others hadn't gone before. Don't be afraid to take business ventures where others have not ventured before. If you're taking the Lord with you in these ventures, you're planning, right? You're being patient. You're foreseeing. You're taking your time to make the right decisions, to be around the right people. Don't worry. A lot of times you're going to get no. You're going to get plenty no's before you get a yes. But that one yes may be the one that you need to finally make it. So again, whithersoever thou goest, take the Lord with you and stand firm and be serious about the Lord's business. And he'll be serious about you when he said, well done, thy good and faithful servant. Have faith. Faith without works is dead. So remember, you can be doing works and you have no faith. What are you going to get? You can have faith and then not be doing any works. What are you going to get? So you can vice versa it. So understand, complete God's mission. All right. Carry him wherever you go and he will definitely please you. Thank you all for listening to the inspirational segment. Let's keep it moving.
It's Israel's message. Come on, all the kids. It's Israel's message. It's Israel's message. It's Israel's message. It's Israel's message.
All right, let's check and see what's going on in the news today. We have a lot of news going on. We all know about the Straits of Hormuz. We know that a 14-day ceasefire deal has been reached between the two nations. So let's hope that this 14-day ceasefire deal can turn into something long-term and not be something temporary. So let's keep an eye on that. There are also the Budapest 26. Some championships are going on for the Budapest 26, which is 150 days away. A lot of athletes are gearing up and getting ready for the Budapest 26. So let's keep an eye on that as many athletes gear up to get ready to go. Do your good job, athlete. Continue to practice, continue to get in shape, continue to push the limits, and Budapest 26 will be a success. Chinese president warns against world retrogression to the law of the jungle, right? In a meeting with Spain. So Spain and China is meeting, and they're considering this law that's called the world's retrogression to the law of the jungle. The jungle, the jungle, the wild, a lot's going on. So they're trying to organize and get this thing done for a lot of safeguarding that these nations have to abide by. So China and Spain is meeting together to possibly make some more rules and some laws as pertaining to the law of the jungle. Global oil demands plunge amidst disruption caused by war. So the global oil demand is plunging. Hopefully this helps a lot of the oil prices go down so people can stop feeling the ease on their pockets. And then also in other news, IMF warns global economy at risk of recession if Iran war persists. So the recession is always looming. We know that many of these things are looming with war, and the recession could be imminent if this war keeps up. It's very expensive to run a war. Ships, right? Personnel, many of the black budget and the funding. So many of these things are, and also the weapons. So many of these things have to be taken into consideration when you're at war. And we definitely don't want to continue this war. We rather things get back to where they need to be. Again, remember, there will always be wars and rumors of wars. All that we can do as citizens and civilians is stay our lane and continue to play our part and make sure that our faith is strong, right? From Joshua 1:9, that our faith is strong and that we are being bold and being of good courage in the Lord. So the world, the leaders, many news is going to come out. Many things is going on in the world. Let's continue to stay our path and we'll be fine. Thank you all for listening to Israel's Message News segment. Let's move on and see what's going on into some other news.
It's Israel's message. It's Israel's message. It's Israel's message. It's Israel's message.
All right, and some stock news. We have some movers for today. JP Morgan, Oracle, Bloom Energy, Credo, American Air. So you have a couple of movers on the stock front. Be sure to watch for early entries and exits, and understand that your entry and exit points are definitely key to a good strategy. The S&P 500 and NASDAQ, they're still mixed amid the Iran deal. So keep an eye on the futures as they are kind of mixed still. But the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ is pretty up, almost close to 1.5% off of their highs. So keep an eye on the stocks and the futures. And if you're in Forex, get a good trend and make sure you buy and sell at appropriate times. So thank you all for listening to the stocks. And let's move into some social media news. All right, in some social media news, you have a lot going on in social media land. TikTok adds a new AI video generation to Symphony ad toolkit. So TikTok doing some upgrades to the AI video generation. The Dreamenia Cadence 2.0 artificial intelligence model from parent company ByteDance is able to create realistic content from text prompts. So this is getting more and more into the text prompt and getting more and more realistic pictures. So that's good for TikTok. In other news, advocacy groups, they warn against adding facial recognition to Meta AI glasses. I've always checked these glasses out. They're pretty cool, but be careful what you're uploading your fingerprint and your facial recognition to. Remember, the phone calls are running rampant with the spam phone calls and everything. Can you imagine what they're doing with your faces? So be careful on uploading, being so quick to upload your facial recognition and your fingerprint to a lot of these Meta AI and a lot of these AI platforms. So be careful. A lot of folks are very conscious with their credit cards, with their money and everything. So you should be just as conscious with your identity. That is very important. In other news, X eliminated thousands of accounts in new bot purge. So X eliminated thousands of bot accounts from their program. They don't want as much AI heavy presence in their platform. So X is eliminating almost 208 a few days ago per minute accounts. They were eliminating almost 208 accounts per minute just a few days ago. So keep an eye on that. Authorities need to establish clearer rules on social media age checking coming up. So you can expect some age checking going on as many young users crowd the social media realm daily. So that's just a little bit of news in the social media area. Thank you all for listening to Israel's Message. We appreciate you. Let's keep it rolling.
Come on, all the kids. It's Israel's message. It's Israel's message. Come on, all the kids. It's Israel's message.
All right, for a daily brain buzz for today, we got a question for you, and we would like for you to submit your questions to the email provided. That's Israel, like the country Israel's, and then message@gmail.com. Again, Israel with the S and another S, message@gmail.com. The question for today is going to be, what are some points in your life where you had to be courageous and really stand firm for either what you believe in, what was right, and definitely what may have gone against others' belief? So what in your life did you have to be courageous about? You could be courageous about anything. We would like to hear your report. You can send it to Israel's message. Again, that's Israel with the S and then another S, message@gmail.com. We would like to hear your commentary, and we'll definitely read it out loud on the show. Again, when was there a point in your life to where you had to be courageous and stand firm for what you believe in, going against others, or just a story that you have? We'd definitely like to hear your moment that you were courageous in your life. Thank you all for listening to the Daily Brain Buzz. Let's keep it moving on Israel's message.
Message. Come on, all the kids. It's Israel's message. It's Israel's message. It's Israel's.
All right. Thank you all for listening to Israel's message. We really appreciate your time. Be sure to click those likes and subscribe. We definitely appreciate you. It's Israel's message. Let's get into the daily topic of the day. The daily topic of the day is, if you are single, what are some things that you should be preparing for in your future? There are certain things that you should be preparing for in your future. And I'm just going to give you some quick tidbits on what you should be preparing for if you're single. The number one thing is, if you're single, is that there should be absolutely no sex. 100%. There should be no sex. If you're single, remember, sex from a holy and a biblical standpoint is fornication. So when you're allowing others to come into you and giving yourself to others, you're also opening yourself up to them. It can be very hard to break these ties sometime, and sometimes it can lead down a path of destruction, which means it takes more time to get away from that situation, feelings, and everything that is involved with those type situations. So the number one rule is, if you are single, the number one thing you should be doing is not having any type of sexual intercourse, and really saving yourself for your future spouse. Remember, understand that every man and every woman, they have a time clock as far as their sexual activity. So remember, the more and more that you give yourself away, the more and more that you take away from that clock. And that is very real. That's why they've made many devices. Think about it. So especially for ED and different things that men experience later on, and also that women experience. Sometimes it can be from health situations, but most of the time it is from a small portion of this pie is from sexual activity and doing it just a little bit too much. So saving yourself can definitely have a huge impact on you. The second thing that you should be doing if you're single nowadays is your credit. Report. You should be tackling your credit report. You should be looking at all 3 credit bureaus and understanding where your credit is, what you have to improve on, and what you need to keep on being consistent on. Remember, credit is just as important nowadays, especially in a relationship. And this is one of those things where I told you before that I was poor on. I was poor on the credit. Not that I had bad credit. I didn't have enough credit, is what my advisor told me. She said, you don't have enough credit. You don't have revolving lines of credit, and nothing's being reported. If nothing's being reported at the end of every month, then you're not going to have no credit jumps or credit increase. So the first thing that you should do is tackle your credit, realize where you are. Again, call. Don't just wait for a lot of these accounts to expire like many of us do. Wait for accounts to expire and wait for them just to go out of collections or just get outdated. Call many of these collectors and understand and see where your account is. If you see where your account is and understand that you can set up a payment arrangement. Just for an example, myself, I had an old student loan. I simply called and I was eligible for a grievance on the student loan, which means they paused it and then now it was able to report and be positive. So calling a lot of these financial institution or collectors and letting them know your situation, or just simply working with them, they are willing to work with you to help your credit get in a better situation. If you owe something, you owe it. If you have major debt, like real major debt, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of debt, you may want to get into more of an advanced program, something that's set up more for yourself to become more successful. Maybe filing more and more disputes, or getting with a lawyer, or getting with a program that can help you file a lot more in-depth things for your credit if it's up really high. So that's the number two thing. Work on your credit, really tackle your credit, really be serious about it. Do not joke about it. That's one thing that I failed on, was credit. One thing that I was strong in, and that you should be strong in for your number 3 point, is finances. When it comes to finances, you want to make sure that you are at least have a job and you're at least consistent. And when you have a job and you're consistent, the thing is that you can bring your portion to the table. Bringing your portion to the table, and then also not only having a job, but having more of an outlook like, okay, this is where I want to end up. From this job, I want to maybe get this skill and get more into this job. Use your skills. If you're on a construction job, you can learn many things about lumber. You can get more into general contracting role, future roles, general contracting, a builder, a framer. You can get into many roles from jobs that you're in, and that will lead you to being successful. While you're working, you could be working a minimum wage job and learning how to weld. You can learn how to weld and get more into a welding program. Women can get more into nursing. A lot of medical jobs for women is pretty good, and for guys too. But the main thing is that you want to have a real good outlook on your career path, and make sure that you are going in an upward trajectory, and that you can use your current jobs for stepping stools to get you onto your next job. So that's very important, that if you're single, the number one thing you should be doing is not having sex. You should not be having any sex. You shouldn't be having any sex. The number two thing is you want to work on your credit and make sure that you're building your credit up in a way that is going to be helpful for you in the future. The number three thing is you want to look at your financial outlook. You want to get into a good bank. You want to also have a good reputation with that bank, which means that you're not being overdrawn too much, which means that you are showing consistent deposits, which I didn't know was big, but showing deposits are very good, direct deposits. And you want to have a good reputation with that bank. And then the fourth thing, number four, is once you get with a good bank, you can get into a good credit card. Get into some good credit revolving situations with some credit cards. Start low, start small. Don't use it all at once. Just use it to build up your credit instantly, and make sure you pay it off before the end of the month or before the due date. So getting your credit right, and then also getting a credit card or some revolving account. If you have a car, be sure to make your car payments on time, your insurance and everything. All of these things are very critical as far as helping you out in the future to make sure that you are in a good trajectory. So that's number four. Have a good reputation with a bank. Get a good credit card or a good revolving credit account. And you can always call your credit company or a credit advisor to ask them what are good revolving credit accounts that are reporting to my credit account in the three major credit bureaus, TransUnion, Equifax, those being some of the most important ones. You want to make sure that you are also being reported, because why does it make sense to do the work and you're not getting the credit for it? So make sure you're doing everything to that benefits you. Number five thing on this list is that I feel that if you're single, you should stay away from the things that plant seeds in your head. The dating shows, a lot of the dating shows nowadays, the first thing that they're saying on day one when they're meeting each other is, ooh, I wonder what this guy's like in bed, or I wonder what she's like in bed. The world is continuing to push single people down a path of disruption and down a path of just giving themselves away to where they almost have no value. So stay away from shows and stay away from things that's going to cause thoughts and ideas in your head that's going to make you want to be promiscuous, that's going to make you jump out there and see what's out there. Remember, it's the world. It's the world. And we all know it's the world. And who's the prince of this world? Who's the king of this world? Satan. So, of course, it's going to be a lot of destruction and a lot of path in this world that carry you down the abyss. So stay away from the world and get more and more into the word. And which is my save the best for last. If you're single nowadays, stay away. If you're single nowadays, the most important point or most important thing that you should be doing nowadays is in a nice church and practicing holiness. Holiness is the number one thing in the world, because when you're holy, you're getting more into your spirit, man. Remember, the body without the spirit is dead. So if you're focusing on your spirit and getting more into your spirit, you'll understand how to avoid different traps that are set up for you. You're setting up yourself for success in the Holy Spirit, your success in your faith. You're now taking your time, as we talked about in Joshua 1:9. You're now taking your time. You're practicing faith. You're carrying the Lord with you everywhere that you need to be, and you're starting to make better and better decisions in your life. Or you're taking your time and researching and doing due diligence on certain situations. So understand that these things are important. These are just small key that I think will help a person who's single in this world nowadays to get on the right path. Number one, the most important thing is no sex. No sex at all. Totally just block it out of your head. And when I say no sex, I mean no sex. No extracurricular, no toys, no nothing for yourself with men doing other things. Nothing, absolutely nothing. Number two is make sure that you're tackling your credit and handling your credit in a good way that's going to protect you, and also call and contact a credit agent to make sure that you're taking the right steps in that credit to allow you to be able to be successful in the future. Three, you want to get a good bank account. Having a good bank account that you have direct deposits coming through and that you have things reporting to will also help you with your credit report as well. If you have payments, cards, and everything, make sure you're making your payments and everything on time. That it will help you to have a good outlook on your payment reporting to these agencies. So remember, a couple of these things. The most important thing is the Holy Spirit. Number six is making sure that you obtain the Holy Spirit and that you're being holy, and understand that with this right here, you're carrying the Lord with you everywhere you go. So thank you all for listening to Israel's Message Daily Show. We appreciate your time. Thank you all so much. You have a good day.
It's Israel's message. It's Israel's message. It's Israel's message.